Now, here's another great guy to solve, to get inspiration from. This guy, he has Tourette's syndromes, and he has a tick in his voice that, can sound annoying to the average person or whatever, but it hasn't stopped him. He lost his marriage and most of his income and things like that, but he's going now on the internet and trying different things, to get things to happen. And that's what it's all about, is how much are you willing to investigate, to try, to do the research, because nothing costs a whole lot of money anymore to do. That's right. You could be on your way doing stuff with no money, no expertise, no friends, no, experts that you know about or anything. No, there's so much that you could learn yourself, and just grab your problem and start working on it. And the tools are out there. And so what if you fail? You're failing by not doing anything anyway. So if you get out there and try something and fail, man, that's a bonus, because you've learned something to add, to your knowledge on how to do it different the next time. And that's what this fellow did. He tried one crowdfunding site, then tried another crowdfunding site, that he's developing the skills necessary to learn how to feed himself using these tools in society. I mean, nobody's going to come down to your house and bang on your door and just hand you a check, like Ed McMahon did, in those commercials. You've won $1 million. But, don't wait for that sucker to show up, because it's not going to happen. And you're going to have to go out there and do something yourself to make it happen. And that's what's life about. And I think that's what's great about our society now. There's so many tools at our disposal now, like never before. The internet has made things so global, so easy, so understandable, and such a resource that we all have to start learning to use. I mean, I remember 10, 15 years ago when I was struggling to figure out Gopher. That was the Internet Explorer at the time. Man, it's going to be easier and easier every day. So the more you use these tools, the more you find out about it now, the more you'll be able to capitalize on what's going on in our society and use these tools to get ahead in the world. I mean, it's like, you don't want to learn how to drive a car because who cares? Walking is healthy and everything. That may be true, but man, if you want to go somewhere, quickly and whatever, you need a car. So that's what the internet, if you want to say something bad about it or whatever, sure, there's bad things about it. But if you want to solve problems in your life, you got to learn how to use it. And there's no magic, there's no mysteries or whatever. The people who charge you a lot of money to learn this stuff, sure, they'll cloak it in magic, and say there's a wizard behind the screen. And that's all nonsense. 99% of us could learn 80% of this stuff to use it well enough. And like driving a car, I mean, sure, that could be complicated, but all of us could learn enough to get down the road, and that's all we have to do. And that's what these tools are about, learning enough to get down the road to use them. And the sooner you start using them, the sooner you're going to see the power of this and how to use it better and how to get more out of life, right? If you're going to just sit by the sidelines and do nothing, you're never going to learn, and everybody else is, and they'll never be able to explain it well enough for you to understand how important this is until you get in there and use it. So watch how Chip did this, and he's still learning every day, and he's an inspiration for the rest of us. Well, Chip Zito, and you're not playing football by doing that's a tick you have, or like a Tourette syndrome, that it just happens automatically. And we talked once before, and I think what's terrific about you, Chip, is that, man, you just keep coming. You just keep coming back. And that's what we all have to do. And, we think, like you had a Kickstarter campaign. It didn't work, right? And then you tried another one. It wasn't so bad. And now you're on your third, still learning, man. This is terrific. I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way to learn, man. And you're going to teach the rest of us about that perseverance.
Oh, yeah, man. Well, the new platform is working very well. I mean, I've only got $100 so far, so I got 4 of my friends to do it. But it's a start, We're trying to get it going. But the bottom line is I have beautiful artwork that helps kids who are afraid of the dark. These posters are great.
I mean, these things look wonderful. I mean, it's a star sky that you put on the ceiling of a kid's room, right?
Yeah,
and you turn off the lights, and you're sleeping under the stars, right?
Exactly, exactly. We've got 3D planets on there, shooting stars, multiple stars, clouds, all kinds of good stuff.
Wow.
And I make them all by hand. Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
Wow. So you make that by hand. So you're an artist. Huh?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, also, you just mentioned right before we got on the air, too, that you found maybe something that helps your tic, your Tourette syndrome. And
Yeah.
What was it, pine oil?
It was, I got an oil warmer for Christmas, and I went out and I got some peppermint oil.
Oh, peppermint.
Just with the idea of, making things smell Christmassy, because peppermint's kind of Christmassy. And I don't live in a very big house, so my house is just a little mobile home. It's only 540 square feet.
I see,
And so I figured it would make the house smell good, and it's calming my tics. It's calming my tics. Unbelievable. Thank you, Jesus.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. And you tell your doctors about this yet? Or?
Yeah, I did. I did. And I went on the Brad Cohen Tourette's Foundation site.
Oh, you did?
I know Brad personally. He's a friend of mine. And there were people talking about oils even before I even mentioned my situation. They were talking about oils. So I was like, oh, boy, I'll put this on there.
So you never know. I mean, that's even like traditional healthcare. I mean, we spend billions of dollars on this stuff, and just oil that you could buy at the drugstore could help you.
Exactly. And it smells great.
And I think that's another testament to you and how you're living your life, though, Chip. I mean, that you're keep on trying. And I don't know what it is in this country. We think that that's bad. We don't want to try anymore. Nobody wants to try. We want to have everything easy and everything sold that way. Just make this phone call and all your problems will be solved. And it doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't. And you got to be resilient. You got to be persistent. You got to not let anything get in your way. You got to read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Great book. Love it. Because I've mentioned that before. It's just 13 steps to get any goal. It doesn't matter what the goal is. I've been living that philosophy for years, and that's what keeps me going.
Well, it has to. I think all of us, no matter how, I think how rich you are or whatever, you still have to fall down every day because new things are happening and we don't know how to do them. And by learning is by falling down and trying it again. And that's what you're doing with Kickstarter. And so that's why you're not a 20-year-old who grew up with a laptop in your hand, right?
No, not at all. Not at all. When I learned about persistence, though, was early on. When I had an incubator as a kid, I was into hatching birds.
Oh, really?
I'm still into that, and we had a little incubator. It looked like a spaceship.
Right.
It holds 3 eggs, and we tried with that doggone thing about 8 or 9 times unsuccessfully. But I kept at it, and eventually we started getting hatches. So
really? Wow, wonderful. Well, that's what about. That's why I think if you really want to do something, I mean, that's the key, is the passion to do something, because you have to go over all those hurdles, and if you really don't want to do it, you won't go through all the stuff to get there.
Yeah, and a lot of times, when you're an entrepreneur, you have something different. People might look at you like you're out of your mind a lot of times. I run into that all the time.
You're going to put the sky on my ceiling? How the hell are you going to do that?
Yeah, exactly. And then when I explain to them that it's a white paint on a white background, since ceilings are white, it just white on white blends in. It's a pretty simple science.
Yeah, so you don't see it. Our paints aren't white.
They do glow in 5 colors.
When the lights are on, you don't see anything, and then you turn the lights off, and the sky opens up. It's just like taking the roof out of the house.
Yeah, and then when you turn the light back on, it goes away.
It's gone.
Boom.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And so,
but I will say,
your website is mysticalpainting.com, and there's a link to get the posters that goes to positivegift.com, which is another crowdfunding site, right? So you found these.
It is.
Yeah. And how do you like this one?
I do. I like it a lot. It's very, very nice. Dana Ostamel is the woman who owns it. It's been in business for 5 years.
Wow.
And very successful. She's really, really good. She's got a bunch of detailed how to do crowdfunding videos on her site. One of them was 2 hours long. Very, very informative. Yeah, and I've got emails from her. I've talked to her a bunch of times, and it's very good. Oh, when I got my money, I got my first 4 deals.
Oh, really? So you got paid already even?
I already got paid. It was like, dude, it took about 24 hours when I cashed out. It was on my debit card within 2 days. Boom.
Wow. So it's depositagift.com. Yeah, because there's so many sites out there, and everyone thinks of Kickstarter, and there's good and bad about everything, and so you really have to explore and find out what's good for you, like you did. You went to Kickstarter, it wasn't successful, so you learn. I mean, how else are you going to learn? Yeah.
Exactly.
Because nobody could tell you.
And what I'm going to do is, when the video is finished, I'm going to go ahead and edit it and put the actual link to the site on the bottom of the video through YouTube, the editing package. So people will see that when the time everything's done on your end, and then we'll have it all set up here for my end.
Right. So the posters, I mean, and for $25 you get one poster. I mean, it's a huge sucker, right?
It's 22 by 28 inches, a standard size large,
Yeah.
like
22 by 28. Wow. And so you mail them out, and they don't have to wait because you have these now, right?
Oh yeah, I've got them now.
So it's not like on Kickstarter you got to wait 6 months. Something I got something for Christmas last Christmas on Kickstarter, and I didn't even get it this Christmas yet.
Jesus. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
With me, it's
so a lot of those.
Make them as I get them. So.
Right. Well, that's wonderful. Well, you're a joy to talk with, Chip, and thanks for showing your perseverance and sharing that with the rest of us, because we all need a kick in the butt, man. It's too easy just to complain and sit around and do anything. And so you're an inspiration to the rest of us. And we find you at mysticalprinting.com.
No, that's actually mystical painting.
Painting? Why did I call it printing?
You said mystical printing. It's a Freudian slip, dude. It's all good.
It's my foggy head. Mysticalpainting.com. You see your great work. This is all handwork that you do, and that'll link to depositagift.com and get some for gifts. You have all kind of gifts, and graduation day coming up, and kids, even like graduation from kindergarten or whatever.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, they're good for anybody. They're good for kids. They're good for adults. Anybody who likes to stargaze.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
And I'm in the Washington, D.C. area from time to time because my family lives out there, and I would even be willing, if I got any gigs up there, as far as actual painting gigs on ceilings, I'd go up there and stay at my parents' house and actually do the gigs. I could bring my painting kit and do it.
Wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Chip. Good to talk to you again, and keep on going, because it's great for the rest of us to see what you're doing, and how hard you just come back, man. You're just not going away, are you?
Yeah, I don't let anything stop me. I've had people tell me all my life, stop doing what you're doing. Don't be an entrepreneur. You're unrealistic. You're this, you're that, blah, 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 blah. I don't let it even faze me. All I let it do is that's more fuel for the fire to get my goal. And then when I found out about crowdfunding, I was like, cha-ching, this is it. Exactly. Yeah, now I just need people to take me up on it because the posters are beautiful. And I want to share them with the world, folks. So you guys help me out. I'll help you out. Everybody gets something nice, and it's all good. That's basically what I'm trying to do.
So mysticalpainting.com.
Absolutely.
Okay, take care, Chip.
All right, Matt. Peace. Thanks again. God bless, brother.